Yeah, a note just occurred to me. This mental note. I have peers, I have comrades, I have brothers in arms. I have many people I've passed and done things with. And the one area we always clicked on was knowledge. Different people are different kind. You may click in a different area. I'm telling you what kind of person I am. That's what draws me to a person. That's the body of our conversation. We're not talking about football. We're not talking about video games. This is something we give a mention to. But the body of our conversation is intellectual, okay? But I just seen something that looks like a flaw to me. Our track record, our history, our body of work seems like we've uncovered a million lies. And we felt good about it. This is a lie. That's a lie. This is a lie. Yeah, we're doing the damn thing. We're uncovering all the lies. This is what I was born for. And then I stopped and thought about, okay, we uncovered the lies, but did we find the truth? I thought that's what we were going for. Someone to put a fast one on us in this 3 card Molly. I remember when I set out on this path, I was going to find the truth. Hey, man, me too. Me too, man. When did it turn into a adventure of uncovering lies? Someone confused us that it was the same thing. That uncovering lies is searching for the truth. No, it's uncovering lies. You may think once you uncover a lie, it's the truth. No, we don't find out. See, most of the time, we end up saying, I don't know what the real truth is, but that's not it. I've proven that's not it. Science has proven that's not the truth. I don't know what the real truth is, but that's not it. See, we settled for that. And I just thought about I could have lived my whole life on that page. No, I don't want the lies. I don't want to uncover the lies. I want the truth. I'm not going to spend any more time uncovering lies. I'm going to dig out the truth from here on. It's my only goal. Because you can get sidetracked with that, man. I'm talking about for decades of your life. It can become an obsession. The lie detective. Ha, that's a lie. That's a lie. Nobody can spot a lie better than me. I know when you lying. You know that, right? Uh, it, um, but do you know the truth? Sorta. I think so. No, that's not knowing. That's not knowing. I believe is not knowing. I think so is not knowing. Unless you can say, I know, it's not knowing. If you say anything else, you don't know. Unless you can say, I know the truth. You don't know the truth. Now, the wise are going to take the wise way out. Well, I don't know the whole truth. I know some of the truth. Okay, tell me one thing you know for sure that is the truth. Tell me one thing you know for sure. I'm waiting. You don't even know that sky up there is real. You don't know that you're not in the matrix. You don't even know you're a real person, that this could be the 13th floor and this is just a holodeck. You don't know anything for sure. You know what a sign is that you don't know for sure? You keep thinking that you know and finding out you were wrong. That's your history. Am I right or wrong? I thought I had it that time. It's like the search in religion. Man, I went on it. I started and they shoved the when I started out as a baby, they shoved the Baptist church in my mouth. You know, You don't know what that's like if you're not from that culture. You know, I mean, they demand you go to church. Most of us never make it because of this one factor, and they probably didn't think about it till right now. Okay, a bunch of mean ass old ladies. I mean, fussing at you as a child and stuff ain't quite your version of a good God. Ain't quite drawing the right picture to a child to encourage them to go to church. Sit down somewhere, for I'll beat the hell out you. That's not what you told them God was. And they pick up on that real quick. I know I did. So soon as nobody can make me go to church again, I stopped going. Everybody raised their hand that did that. That's a lot of damn hands. So I started out on this path. I don't want to say anything negative about anybody's religion, but to hell with what I want. We're here to talk about what is, not what I want. So if I say something negative, it's the truth. Live with it. You don't have a choice. I didn't make it to be the truth. It's not the truth because I say so. If it's the truth, no matter who would have said it. If no one said it, it still would be the truth. That's the mark of the truth. No one has to say it. It just is. Doesn't have an author. It's still being written. Now, we all contribute to that book called The Truth. So I quit. I quit. I'm grown. You can't make me go to church. I wasn't actually grown yet. I was like 15 years old, you know, when I quit. All right. And they were caught behind a catch-22 of it. It ain't right to make them go to church. I was so glad when they came up with that concept because the generation before me, they didn't get that fringe benefit. You, they just got the hard round. We came in on a time when they said, well, hey, Quite ain't, you shouldn't make the children go to church. It ain't right. I was so glad when they came up with that. I was so glad, you know. And so I skipped. Didn't really think about God right and wrong. I did my wrongs. I did my rights. I didn't do much feeling guilty. Okay. It, I was in a mixed up program where right seemed like wrong and bad seemed awful good to me. You know, they told me stay away from these girls and don't have sex with them, and it was bad. But every time I got it, it was good. Every time I did it, it was good. I don't know. I didn't know what they meant. They wrong, you know, and that's how you go. So I go along, chasing these creatures become my main obsession. What happens? They are used to lead me back to this building, back to the church. Okay, and I walk from one city, from the city of Mercy to the next city called Atwater on foot, the back way country roads. Like Stand By Me. I'm talking about got chased by a bull and all that. It's like someone stole that story. Me and my three friends. We didn't see a dead body. But anyway, we were going because these girls were at church in that city. So later on, it led me to a new episode. The Jehovah's Witnesses. This right here had to be the truth. Come on now. They explained why what had been taught wasn't the truth, and they explained it clear. Oh yeah, it didn't come down with all them thousands. We took all them thousand these out of it and put it in plain, simple English where you can understand it. Don't that thousand these and stuff. That's all confusing and on and on and on. Okay, we did this, we did that. This is not right. And it tells you right there, in the Lord's name, who is Jehovah, which is Jehovah or whatever, depends on what book you read. None of that's in the original text, and none of that's on the tablets it was plagiarized from. But let's don't go there right now. So, to Jehovah Witnesses, oh, I'm all in it because she's all in it, and I'm all into her. Okay, I did that. And I found out all there was about them. And I thought that was it. This is where, yeah, that's what I'm going to be, a Jehovah's Witness. Okay? And I was that. And while I was still calling myself a Jehovah's Witness and I was traveling through the world and I wasn't going to any kingdom halls, I was just out there, I ran into a girl into astrology and horoscopes. She taught me all about that stuff and how it worked. It's like a religion too. For you that are not really aware or acknowledging it, it is a religion. Okay? People live and go by it, worship it, and all this here. Okay? Now, then she turned me on to something else. The I Ching. Yeah, you just take these three coins and you toss them up, and then they form a pattern. You look up that pattern in the book, and it'll tell you what you want to know. And there's a tarot cards, and on and on and on. And I went through everything on this planet. The Catholic Church, I came to arrest as a Muslim because they were shutting everybody down. When I stepped into their realm and they went to explaining things, they started chopping everyone up. Start showing me the holes in their game and why that can't be the truth. And they were better. They this thing that everybody had been talking about, God and being right, they were the most righteous of all of them. The rest of them was a bunch of wicked people who go to church and say, "Forgive me." They were not good people. They didn't have any good practices. They were not training to be good. But these people, come on, let me try to explain to you. I had to get up at the break of dawn, wash myself, okay? Make intentions of being clean, or take a bath, either one. I had to do this 5 times a day for all my sense parts. I had to do it 5 times a day. Do you take baths 5 times a day? You know anybody else take baths, showers, any of that 5 times a day? Nowhere. So they were the cleanest of the clean. And everyone else was talking that cleanliness is next to godliness stuff. Everybody else had talked me into being a Muslim. All that stuff they taught me before then, they talked me into being a Muslim. Because when I arrived there, that's where all that stuff they told me about, they were faking and shaking about, here's where they were really doing it. I mean, they were really doing it. These people told me about angels. I get over here, you better acknowledge your angels, show them you appreciate them. What? Okay, that sounds right. So, I didn't become no Nation of Islam Muslim. They probably could have sucked me in if I had walked in their door. I met them a few times. They just never could get a bean pie grip on me. I don't know why. Something about them seemed Uncle Thomas. Even though they was talking that black stuff, there was something about them that wasn't hood or raw or real black. I couldn't describe it what it was. Okay? They were saying they were trying to be something different, but they were just being the black version of that they were talking about in these white man suits, talking about the white man wearing white man shoes and stuff. And they said, well, the black man invented a bow tie. Okay, that is one article of clothing that you have on. Something's not cool right here. You're the mini me of that you saying that you hate and don't want to be like. You're nothing but a clone of it. You're talking good stuff, but you didn't write that stuff. Stuff was written by some people who don't do it like you doing it. And so I found a true pure source of this, the purest source you can find. I found, see, if I tell you what we called him at the time, your mind's gonna do all kind of stupid stuff because of your programming. So I'm just gonna tell you the name that he's known by now. I found Dr. Malachi Z. York, but at the time we had a different name for him. Okay, the name that you give to that is, and we had a justification for calling him that, genealogy and all of that. Okay, now, but here's what it was to me. I had great teachers, both in real life and in books. I always had the knack to pick the best book for a subject. It was 100 books on that subject, and I picked the winner that shuts them all down. I just had the knack for it. Well, this man had was like the greatest teacher of ever. Past and present, I don't care. From beginning to end, maybe even in the future. There's nothing that can compare. You can go check it out. It's his favorite words. If he tell you, don't, you ain't gotta believe me. Go check it out. I want you to go check it out if you do believe me. So, I didn't find him directly. Let me tell you my story here. Because I just ran through it and then I said I ended up in their door. I told you I was chasing girls. And in my travels, I traveled fairgrounds and entertained. And I had uh, disagreements with people which caused me to quit in a strange city. One of these cities was Columbus, Ohio. So I quit and I'm in this city. And I survived. It was hard for a California boy in snow. It was hard. But I survived with my cunning and females. Okay? I had power over them. They had what I needed to survive. I was good. Okay? So, I had one of these females and we became a thing. So when I left and went back to Memphis and I called her on the phone, she said, come spend Christmas weekend. Come spend Christmas with me. I jumped at the opportunity. I'm in the attic at my mom's house. Oh yeah, I want to go. Because this, I just came off an adventure of a grown man and traveling man, and I've been all over the land. To come back and be in my mom's attic is not it. That was from the first time I quit. Now, she says, come back. I come back, she pay for everything. She works at the bank. Um, I come there. She doesn't take me to her house that she used to sneak me in the back door and up to her room. We go away on the other side of the city somewhere to her cousin's sister or someone's apartment. Her sister, her cousin done went out of town to visit somebody else for Christmas for a couple of weeks. So the apartment's just there and she asked her to watch it. Now me and her gonna kick it in this apartment. Problem. The girl can't be trusted. She's a, come on now. I slept with her 5 minutes after I met her. My hands were all up her in the car outside. I mean, I literally grabbed her by her hand. When she came in the door with a friend, I grabbed her by her hand and took her back out the door. I had never seen her before in my life, but I knew my prey. She was a sex fiend. She wasn't gonna resist me. And so anyway, she was hot like that. Can't help it. She had a hormone imbalance. I ain't gonna say call her names and say she was wrong. She just was what she was. So I'm the only one she was sleeping with. Not the first, not the last, whatever. But they all try to run that game on you, and she had successfully ran that on me or made me run it on myself. So I get here. Now she has to work these hours at bank, and then she still ain't making it back tonight. I'm in here alone in some strange apartment. And the next day, the same thing. Now I ran out of food. She still ain't showed up. I did not know it was another guy in the mix or whatever, and a whole bunch of other things that don't need to be in this thing. This is about religion. Not really about religion, but you'll see what the punchline is. Okay. I'm in Columbus, Ohio. The snow is up to my thighs. I don't have any money. I don't know where I'm at. I don't even know the neighborhood. I open the door and look outside. I can't go anywhere. I don't know which way to go. So I know my way to the store, but I don't have any more money. The store is right around the corner. I don't even have to walk through this humongous apartment. I mean, ain't no complex. This apartment village. I can just go from behind us and out the driveway and go to the store. Don't have to know where I was. So I'm there one night, and there was a knock on the door. Doom, doom, doom. And I opened the door, and a brother was standing there, and he asked for the girl who lived there. And I told him the story, and she was gone. He said, well, who are you? And I explained my situation. Then he said something I had never saw before. He said, do you need anything? I didn't know what to say. I was in shock because human beings where I came from, males and black males, man, that just don't happen. He said, do you need anything? I mean, like, I stuttered and I said, well, like, what do you mean? He said, do you need anything? I said, I could use some food. I'm kind of hungry. He said, okay, I'll be back. And he shut the door and he left. Then he came back with 2 arms full of groceries. And I'm blown away. I don't understand. This brother's name was Bilal. Guess you can say he saved my life in more than one way. He so he gave me food and I was happy. He said, if you need anything else, let me know. I'm wimp. I'll be back to check on you. And I didn't know where he lived. He lived somewhere in the apartment complex. I was cool. Couple of days, I had food. I was just tripping off of this. I don't know. He didn't explain nothing. Yes, he did. He told me. He explained to me that he was a Muslim and this is what we supposed to do. He told me that, and it kind of just went over my head because I was in shock. But he did tell me this is what we do. It's mandatory. And so I'm like, okay. But I hadn't seen one look like him. But at the time, he had on army clothes. He had on full army gear. Okay. So he comes back a couple of more days. And he said, come on, come, what you doing? I said, nothing. He said, come with me. I want you to meet somebody. And he takes me right across the way from where I'm at to a corner apartment that I could see from the window and takes me in there. And here's Yusef, the other brother. This brother is new to it and he's hungry for it. I mean, he's obsessed with it, studying day and night, praying constantly. This brother's serious and he ain't always been. He keeps telling you, I ain't always been this way. I'm kind of new to this, but you couldn't tell because he had everything down already. He had his prayers down. He had everything down that I hadn't even heard of yet. Okay? So they taught me. And they taught me the ways of everything being tied to the right. They taught me the complete Sunnah of the prophets. They taught me to speak classical Arabic. Well, when fake Arabs come up to me claiming to be me, I can shut them down with the real thing. It's like me telling them that's broken English. So, anyway, they taught me. And they taught me to be clean. And they taught me to wash out my nostrils. And all of that. And wash out my ears 5 times a day and all of this. And they started revealing the secrets of this world that had been hidden from me from birth. How things were not the way I was told, and proof of them. Start giving me answers that these people told me there were no answers for. Told me how God created the atom. Did they teach you that where you were? Anywhere you can go, can you learn that? Taught me the location of the Garden of Eden, or I could take you by your hand and put it down there. Did your religion teach you that? You believe in the Garden of Eden? Does anybody you know where it's at? Oh, well, the Bible says in them lands are not. Can you go there now? Can you go buy a ticket and go there? I can take you there. I can take you right there. And it's just, that's the short list. The very tiny list compared to what I was taught. Now, I'm hooked for life. I got one of the greatest teachers ever being taught to me by some of the best human beings. You don't know Belial. I can't describe him to you. I can describe Yusef to him because Yusef backslid a million times and quit and did all kinds of stuff. Belial was not that type. It was for life or death. When I saw him again, I felt shame that I could not speak and acknowledge him because he didn't know what was going on with me. Oh, wait before I go further to the good part. So the girl comes back that lives there. Now I got nowhere to live and I'm stuck in Ohio because my girlfriend can't get me out of there and done betrayed me. And so Yusef lets me come stay at his house. Now my training is full time. But you don't know what training is. I grew up on black belt theater and kung fu movies, man, and things like that. Well, here's time to get with the getting. This ain't no coming out of Bruce Lee movie kicking at each other going, hi-ya, and all that. Here's your chance to get down again, because I was good already. I had been taught by Bruce Lee students already when I was 16 years old. Okay, but now I'm older, and here I am. I'm getting up at 4 in the morning, doing my first prayers, and then after that, guess what? Now it's a run to training and practice across the way. Okay, way across the way. Now here's what makes the run unusual. The snow is over our hips. So there's no stepping over the snow and stepping down. You have to cut through the snow with your body. There's no stepping, there's cutting through with your full body. And all of this had done to do what? To go fight bare trees with your bare hands. That's what we did. We fought trees with our bare hands in the freezing cold. That was before practice. Make you welcome practice. You get inside that warm building, you don't care how many hours you was practicing, and you really go. And it was something. That's a side note. It's a little extra FYI. So, and Bilal was my teacher. Bilal, Bilal, my teachers are the reason I can't be defeated when you add them all up. And he's one of the reasons I can't be defeated martial arts wise. You'd rather take on Jet Li, actually for real, Tony Jaa or Donnie Yen. You would rather take them on. They don't even know what I know. They might actually be better fighters than me, but they still don't know what I know. If they slip, it's over for them too, no matter how good they are. Because a baby can do this and take them. That's another story though, of how my son put me in the nose lock and I could not move until he let me loose, and he was only 2 years old. He could have killed me and broke my nose, a 2-year-old. So all that other crap is out the window. But back to the story. I then became a Muslim. Full-fledged. Not a Muslim, not a Muslim. Those people wear mismatched clothes. Some red thing looked like a dish rag on their head. We're dressed in all white, tied to the right, pure, the real deal that you never heard of. You don't know one from another, okay? But we're pure from, we're Ansarua Allah community. And we stretch everywhere. The main body is in New York, we everywhere. Now, you can look that name up and find out who the Answars were. And I'll tell you more. But let's go on because it's not enough. Our evolution is so leveled that that's just one step. That's first step I took. Our teacher led where I'm leading you to now. There's no way I could have reached this level of evolution without the help of people like him and Nkosi and a Janaku African American Research Institute and the Ansarua community and the books that I read that Dr. York published. And yeah, there's other people. Oh, no, white people are never done. Yeah, man, I hate you throw it up because that's racist. To think racially is racist. Don't do that again. I'm not doing this note. Okay, look, I learned from Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich. Really good book to make you successful. I've read books, Success System That Never Fail. I've read many things. I read Pulling Your Own Strings by Dr. Dwayne Dyer. I feel like every human being on the planet needs to read that book, teaching you how to not be victimized or victimize yourself when most of you don't even know what self-victimization is. I knew it as a kid. I knew all that stuff before I got to this stuff. Already was a genius and a talent and all those things before I got to this pure knowledge. So now I'm super dude because it makes all these other things better. I'm not quite sure how, but it does. Okay? Now, it's like the stronger your mind, higher your skills level. And so, that's them. That's Bilal and Yusuf. Don't even know if they still go by them names, but I'll explain why that may be so later when we get to where it's pertinent at. What about me? I, just like this city of mercy, all my life I was trying to tell him who I was. I knew my destiny. I knew who I was. Pure as he was, good as he was, he didn't believe me. Because people had a program in their mind that he was fighting too as he would seek to become something else. He was not raised and born that. He became that. He wasn't raised. There's some who were born in this and raised from birth to it. You need to see those. You could not, man. I don't even think, except for mercy and being nice and social, they really don't need to talk to you. Them talking to you is to your benefit. But anyway, let, 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 let's keep it here. Now, but what about me? What's my role in all this? How did I perform and do? I did good when the studying and prayer and all this here. But, come on, I'm coming from the Christian religion. I just went through some crap that made me think I already knew it. Okay? Let's back up a couple of steps before I became a Muslim because it seems like I went from a Jehovah Witness to a Muslim. I went through positive thinking and all kinds of psychology and sociology and stuff before I got here. And I went to the Janaku African American Research Institute in Memphis, lived there, learned there, and all. Well, let's talk about the part on religion. Let me tell you what they did to me. They took a picture of that Jesus that my grandma had on her wall, only Jesus I know, and it was a doorway. They placed it on the floor in the doorway where you could not pass through the door without stepping on it. And they said, come in this room. And I couldn't step on that picture, man. I couldn't step on it for nothing. They're testing me. They're sitting in this room. I'm thinking, who are y'all to ask somebody to do that? Y'all some kind of demons or devils or, oh, what the hell, man, is this? All right. Finally, they said he's not going to do it. They picked it up and called me in the room and set me in the middle of the floor as they sit around me. And they begin the stripping process. The stripping process is to strip you of everything that is not the damn truth, no matter how you try to defend the lie. All right? This was not Jesus. That's how it began. That's not a picture of Jesus. There really aren't any pictures of Jesus. This man's name is this. He is a real man that posed for this picture in this century. There were 17 of them commissioned by this person to do this. And here are their names. And here are their pictures. And they were right. There was only these many versions of this picture of Jesus. And all of them were one of these models. And these pictures were spread all over the whole world. These same Jesus pictures. People were scared to tamper with it. I'm not going to tamper with Jesus' picture. And I'm not going to paint Jesus. So no one else painted a version of Jesus. These things lasted and stayed into the 1960s, 70s and stuff. From what you would almost call ancient times. Because they were scared to touch the image of Jesus. Because that's what they were told it was. This was way before the discovery of hair like sheep's wool and skin of this color, before it was discovered that Jesus was black. Alright? This was before that. So it couldn't make me do it. They knew Jesus was black. I didn't know yet, but I was finna find out. Man, they made me stupid about the whole ordeal. I wished I'd have stumped on the paper and tore his face off when they got through talking to me. Because it didn't have nothing to do with Jesus. It was blasphemy, actually, that picture was. And so they did a lot of things. Let me show you the purpose agenda of Ajanaku African American Research Institute. Their information was we had been slaves. That's the best that they could do. They wasn't there. But they knew the results and effects of it because they were doctors and lawyers and educated people who all quit their jobs, took their money, and went and bought the middle of Memphis, Tennessee, and renamed it Ashanti Y Village and started the institute and started snatching people in. We're wearing dashikis and we got dreadlocks and we really black. And so me Bob Marley children and all kinds of stuff. It was a real serious thing. Now, the purpose is to fix what was done by this traumatizing experience of slavery, to replace. In other words, this is what I was taught. Don't be one of these jigaboos running around here crying about the white man got all the planes. If you want to fly, build you a bigger and better plane. We are the architects of those things. Everything that is, we created it. They are designed, they got a design patent. So my mind was cleared. I wasn't a slave no more. Okay? I wasn't a slave no more. I didn't have a slave mentality or none of that. I was beyond the Black Panthers and all of them. I had superior knowledge to all Martin Luther Kings and all them types right there at that time. They who wasn't on this page. This was the serious page. So I had this knowledge and I thought that was it, the bottom of the well. That's it from me from now on. Okay? I learned to speak Swahili and all. It was serious. So, how did I get there? A girl, a stripper. Okay? See, in Africa, being naked is not wrong, or bad, or regulated, or taboo. Only sexually repressed. No, I don't want to go to talking about anybody. We'll just leave that alone. So one night I performed a place. The stripper performed there. Told you me, I don't even think about she might not want me. She might have a man or nothing. I want them. I just go get them. And they never told me no. So that's why I got that attitude. Okay? I don't know what other guys feel not being able to get what they call catch a girl. I don't even know what that feels like. I don't know what they're going through paying their money trying to buy these girls in the club buying drinks because I'm the one the girls buy drinks for. I'm the one the girls come ask to dance. I don't know what it's like to be them except from seeing it and witnessing it. I'm a different kind of creature. My study of women and my mastery of women led to my study of human beings and my mastery of human beings, so don't knock it. So once again, this stripper says, hey, you want to come home and meet my family? It's 3 in the morning. The club is over. Meet your family. I don't want to go all the way back home anyway. So I go with her. We walk to the neighborhood. We walk across the street from the club, and there's a neighborhood. We walk up into this neighborhood, 2 or 3 blocks, and we come to this house. This house is painted red, black, and green. I didn't notice that at the time. All right, you can just see the green, and maybe it's red. The black looks a bit at night. You just didn't see it. Okay, so and we walked in the house, the lights were off, and there was this one light coming from this door. I learned later on was the kitchen. But right before you get to the kitchen door was the tallest bookcase I ever saw in my life. And behind it was a wall of books the same height, which led to another wall of books. So you can say it was a square with one wall open with room leading to another room. And from this light in this door, these tall black people with these long, fat dreadlocks, some of them down to their hips, came out now. Green California boy is beginning to feel like he's in a monster movie. I ain't gonna lie and say I didn't get scared and nervous because I had never saw nothing like this. Ever. Ever. Ever been close to it or nothing. They turned out to be the best people I met. They took me in, got me off the meat. That was the first time. And on, man. Like I've spent most of my life as a vegan, you guys. All right. No, if I got time at the end of this, this is not supposed to be about me though. This is about religion. I just decided to put about me everywhere. Where in order to get the whole story, you got to read all the notes. Because last night I tried to put as much as I could in one place, and today it got accidentally deleted. I could stayed heartbroken. I could have went and tried to make it better. This is making it better. It's a better way to do it. So, continuing on. When I leave this place is when I with the fair and go to Ohio and become a Muslim and all these things. All right? And meet Dr. York. They're calling me the bickerer because I'm coming from my belief system is a Christian belief system. I wasn't broken of that. I was just the black version. Okay, not the whitematized version. So everything you tell me, you're gonna have to convince me. You can't just tell me something. So my teacher saying is me arguing instead of just accepting what he tell me as the truth. Don't you go through that with your kids and everybody. And he's just beginning to be a teacher. All right, he's been the student. Yusef was his first student, and I was the second. And I told him who I was, and he doubted me, and I argued with me. They've been doing that to me all the way up until now. And I'll tell you at the end of this why they're not doing it now. And so he called me the bickerer. I didn't know he called me that, all right? But I did what I do. I'm the Pied Piper. Well, I ain't Pied yet. I'm the Piper. I play my flute, and all the children run, and all the children come from everywhere. like magic, power over the children for always and a day, still to this moment. So I play my flute, and the young come, and it's not the three of us no more, it's a lot of us. And I brought them, but I didn't even think of it or see it like that. It was just what I do. So the time came for us to put our name in the book of life. You have to fill out an application, put your name in the book of life. For those of you who don't know what the book of life is, that little thing, it's the line of genealogy. What is that? You know, Adam and Eve beget Cain and Abel. You know, Cush beget Nimrod. And on and on and on, telling you whose father is who and who their children was. That book right there actually is kept to this very moment. Are you in it? See, things you ain't thought about. My name is in it. My name's on that list of names that you read when you read your Bible and you feel so holy. You can add me to that list of them people because my name's on that same list. But destiny and who I am, I'm reading something and I pick up on something nobody else reading picks up on or don't hit them like me. Dr. York is telling us about disco and what it's in the bad and what it was a little white man in a booth in a big room full of black people and at any moment he could push a button and kill them all. And about them platform shoes, how they're designed to make your arch fall and all these type of things. You will see what I've done with a little bit of knowledge is dangerous. How these wasn't even books at the time. These was papers that were put out and I read an article and I took it way unto another level. Don't even say so. This is where don't buy the generic knockoffs and all that come from. One little footnote about some platform shoes. So I did my part. I added to. I didn't just sit there and keep on repeating what he said like a mockingbird, which when you meet most of us, that might be something that people keep trying to bring up. Those are not your words. Yeah, what difference that make? The truth is the truth no matter who say it. We're going to still shut you down if you try that. So moving on, I sent my application. I got to write a letter to the Lamb. You say, well, you could just write a letter. No, I'm going to put my letter on the back of my application. I'm going to make sure it goes where it goes because this ain't just a letter. This is me telling him who I am because he needs to know I'm here and I exist and I'm at his disposal. My teacher, who's traveling to New York to meet the teacher, decides he's not even going to turn my application in, but he can't do that. It would be wrong. So when he goes to hand in my application, he goes to making excuses and apologies for me, which draws attention to what I have written on the back. And he gets to talk to him. And he's asked about me. And my teacher says something derogatory to him about me. Oh, he's a bickerer. Well, what did he tell you? He told me the same thing that's on the back of the letter. He says he's here to gather the children and all that. There, he said, when he came, how many of you were it? It was just me and Yusef. He said, how many of you now? And my teacher, that was the first moment he thought about it. That I had did what I said. I brought the children. He didn't bring them. The children that were around us, the young and the teenagers, I did it just like I said on the back. I'm going to tell you what's written on the back of my application for the Book of Life because you don't have access to it and you never will. Here is what it says. That article I read used a word called tarab. because it had two meanings: to wander from the path and to make music for a specific purpose. Now, at the time, the impression was disco was there to lead you astray. That music, okay? That's the impression the article gave. I saw that and it went to my conscious mind, but something grabbed a hold of me, and this word, that's it. That's me. I saw something completely different, right? So now the word is my name because I haven't picked a name yet. So now it's my name. I got an African name. I got American. I got names, but I don't have no Muslim name. I don't have no Arabic name. I picked this word. They bitched about that like it was something, they could not see what I was doing. And what has happened here? I have wandered from the path. Everybody else stayed up under Dr. York and they traveled and they went through there and they moved over here and they became cowboys and they had t-shirts with aliens on them and they was this and they was Native Americans and then they were Egyptians and they don't even know that the evolution ain't even over. Some think, okay, we're Egyptians now. That's where we're at. That's who we are. No. The man himself will tell you there's other places to go. That was, how does he say it? He wanted to show you us ourselves, and that can be confirmed that those were us. So it was an identity we could claim because we didn't have no identity. Remember I told you about those black people that aren't even the people? They're like amnesia patients. Oh, that was the last note. Make sure you listen to that note. Um, so they were doing all this stuff and he writing more and more books. They got to read them. I didn't. I didn't get to learn none of that stuff, because I'm out here like a secret agent learning everything to do my part. Honing all the skills that will be necessary for me to do my part. Okay, I'm thinking everything's cool in New York and everything's all right and they'll be there when I finish to go and I come back with my spoils, everything be cool. I did not know it was going to take that long. I did know. But if I told you how I know, you won't believe me, you know? So, because I turn around and tell you no one has ever done that, and then I'm going to tell you that I did, you're not going to believe me. So I'm not going to even tell you. But I had advanced knowledge of that this was going to go down at this time when I was 20 years old. I cried, but it's true, okay? Because you got to understand, to something 20 years old, it was 1980 or something, okay? You tell a kid in 1980 that he's not going to get to do his thing till up in the 2000s. That's past Star Trek and every future shown to him on TV. And I'm going to be an old man. I can't do nothing then. Well, here I am. And it's just like I was told. So, that's getting off the point. I was out there in the world, disconnected from everyone, and everybody is learning knowledge and knowledge and knowledge of levels and science and all kind of stuff I didn't get to learn because I'm over here learning this world, inside and out, to where I can flip it like a Rubik's cube. They're learning other stuff. I'm learning the lies. They're over there learning truths. I'm over here learning the lies, mastering the lies. No, a lie expert. Okay, so in a way they're more knowledgeable than me, but I'm the one who it didn't take all that knowledge. All it took was the seeds that he planted in me in the first place for me to go to a level that's not written in any of those books, to write some more books that ain't been written. And they be like, that's the kind of stuff Dr. York be doing. We ain't never saw that before. Sound familiar? No one can do Michael Jackson but Michael Jackson. And Mike could tell you he wasn't even doing Michael Jackson. No one never. My teacher used to always tell me that we gonna say they doing this and they say they doing that. He say that ain't me. Somebody just made that crap up and attached my face to it and put it on the internet. That ain't that. I didn't say that. So you gotta be careful about things. Okay? So here I am. And written this letter on the back of it and called me a bicker. And now the teacher then told him. This is what the teacher told him. Straight to him. And he can never can deny this. He told him it is better to have somebody to bicker with than to be by yourself. That's what the teacher told him when he tried to chop me up. Now he came back with a whole new attitude when he get back to Ohio about me because the teacher done set him straight. I love him to death though. Never, never held it against him or anything. But I had to go. There was problems. And so I left because I foreseen them getting attacked and killed. They was not gonna let no black people do what we were doing or say what we were saying or dig up what we were digging up. And he was shutting everybody down in the world. You don't believe me? Go check him out. See, they're not when you go to try to check him out now, you see a purpose slander. They're gonna show you the before, like if they show you my Michael Jackson stuff, they're gonna show you him singing. But if you listen to them songs, you're gonna hear a set of the most universal songs you ever heard. It's like this is every song. These songs he's singing is every song that was ever made. These few songs, he managed to sing every song that was ever sung in a few songs. And they look like American Bandstand. Like, hey, was he a big star or something? I didn't know about him. It's only 100% professional. So you can get sucked in that direction and not seem as the same person. But you think about this here. My city is losing their mind because how you gonna be the only one in the world great as Michael Jackson? Wait a minute. Like one of the smartest people in the world. In their mind, them don't go together. You can't be Michael Jackson, the greatest entertainer and all that, and be the super genius. You can't be both of these. And that kind of thing. Well, that's how they are with him. He can't sing and be a teacher too. You know, and then you over here, no, they're limited. I don't even want to get sidetracked with it right now. But you gotta understand that everybody was calling him their leader. Here's what he would do. He would go to them and give them what they want, what they ask for. They say, we want to know the truth about this right here. This is our religion. He said, okay. Well, first of all this is mistranslated. Let me retranslate it for you from the original text, because I speak the original language and I speak your language. And when he do these translations, they would just adopt him as their leader. Hey, you know, black Israelites and everybody, man, he ever went to, he their leader. He the chief Indian, he the Native American, everybody you go to him. If he came to you, you'll follow him too. It's just that simple. All right. It seems like, and then they would say we worshiping a man and all that there. Hey, being a Michael Jackson fan is worshiping a man. We do that all the time. It's called admiration. Um, this was deeper than that. This is deeper than the followers of Martin Luther King who followed him to their death. He ain't the only one that died. They don't tell you how many people died in them peaceful walks, them non-violent demonstrations. They don't tell you how many of us was killed. The numbers of people that were killed with Martin Luther King put him up there, and the numbers with the highest, with as the biggest mass murderer of all time. Beyond any serial killer, beyond Jim Jones and more people died because of him than anybody else who killed people. So I can't really be clapping for that. Sorry. Anyway, moving on. So we love man because We love knowledge, we love truth, we love our eyes opening up. Okay? Everybody wants to get back to God, and here we done found the path. All right? So, this is where we go. This is where it went. In this evolution, we come to find out Islam is not it. That it's not real. That the Quran is just a plagiarized Bible. That the whole thing is made up off the Bible, and you could tell it was made up of somebody who wasn't that literate. So the story's halfway true, but it's, that ain't all. Okay? Let me show you this about my religions. The Jehovah's Witness and the Nation of Islam were started by the communists. Hitler thought he was going to conquer the world and make it all the way to America, and he had genius stuff and genius plans way beyond his time, and that's another story. He had sent these people to America while he's still over there fighting overseas. What was their job? The two people, one named Farad and one named Fard. Fard started the Jehovah's Witnesses. Farad started the Nation of Islam. All right? What was the purpose of these organizations? To create religious unrest. That's the Jehovah's Witnesses. Take out all the thous and these and make people second guess it. Cause religious controversy and unrest. Shake the religious foundation up, all right, where they're unstable, okay? Because it's always been a support group. Religions fight hard. Most wars are religious wars. And Farad, which is supposed to call racial unrest. That's what the Nation of Islam is supposed to do. So these two religions were supposed to destabilize our country so he could come over here and just pick us up and take out the crumbs. All right? But he got stopped at France, at the front. And we have pictures of these people getting on the plane, leaving. So if you ever come in my face and you're a Jehovah's Witness or a Muslim, a Nation of Islam, you're going to want to kill me for what I said. But what about that part? What about your founder being sent here by the communists? And that your religion is not an original religion in the foundation of the earth, and through time it is a new made up in this time religion, like the Book of Mormon. And that your founders didn't care nothing about Allah, God, Jehovah, or anything. They were agents and got pictures of them leaving you. And your records, when we ask you, you're like, oh, we don't know what happened to them. We asked the Jehovah's Witness, where happened to tell me the story of your founder? Watch the look on their face, those who know. You can do the same to the Nation of Islam. But don't go around just starting stuff with people for sport, because you are evil if you do that. I got them now. You're an endangered species. That's what you better concentrate on. You might be the subject of a 21st century witch hunt. You need to slow your roll. So, moving on. Now I can't be a Muslim no more. It ain't it. It's not it. That's why we went on. Come to find out, the Bible, we're backtracking, all right? He's working day and night. May I mention, no one has written more books than him ever in history, or now, or probably ever. Did I mention that part? Did I? And I forgot how many languages he speaks, maybe 40 or more. And can your teacher match that? Have you had a teacher that good? So you see why I'm so good at this? If you knew him, you will see some of his mannerisms in my delivery, because it's like Obama speaking to me be to the 10th power. He was that good. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If this is how you talk to the people, talk to the people this way. I'm not mocking him. I'm not doing a Michael Jackson impersonator routine. I'm kicking the ball like my teacher taught me to kick it. Now, let's move on. I can't be that anymore, and we evolved. Things started getting serious. We come to find out the Quran's plagiarized from the Bible, and the Bible has been plagiarized from these ancient tablets. Okay? So now we're going all the way back. Now, see, there are things that you don't know about. All these new drugs you see popping up every day, a new drug, and all these new inventions and new ways. It's not from no crash in Roswell. It's from them tablets in the basement of the London Museum. Formulas and recipes and diagrams and blueprints. No one even told you exist. And Shinskin, hope he done died by the time this note goes out. You can sue me for slander if you want. Wish you would get close enough for me to get my hands around your neck. He's a vampire. Every time my teacher does something, he studies my teacher work and takes it to people who haven't heard of my teacher and signs his name on the book. Running around the world like he's an authority on cuneiform and all this. Man, dude, he knows nothing until my teacher releases it. Since my teacher been away, what does he come with new? He can't show the math for the work he got because he stole it. He stole it. Biggest pirate and phony in the education game. I detest him. He disgusts me. So as long as my teacher was putting it out, he was presenting it. See, my teacher put it out to us, and we make a penny off putting it out to you. Penny. We ain't got getting rich. Cover the cost of doing it. All right, now, he would get it, write a hardback book like a Harvard professor and put his name on it, and he ain't came up or figured out nothing. And when his access to information got cut off, you ain't heard nothing from him since. He's probably dead. I hope so. Hey, you've never heard me say that, and you never will hear me say that, except someone who, at some point in time, I thought about killing them myself. That's who I wish death on. Somebody I would have actually killed for what they did. So rather than get my hands dirty, I'm just wishing they drop dead. That's basically what I be saying. So moving on, Egyptianology and all this here, gypsies or whatever they call themselves speaking Egyptian, all this stuff here, man. It's another case of something that everybody's gonna have to explain if you do not take this scenario that's being handed you. Because I like to see everybody explain how they are standing in our land, in our house, in our clothes, speaking our language, claiming to be us. Every last one of you. I don't care what you call yourself. I like to see you explain that. I know why, and you know I know why. And there's a time and a season for everything, and there's truths to everything, and there's some truth to people not being able to handle the truth. If the truth would help them and set them free like these other truths, it'd be given to them. But if it would make them want to eat a bullet and not want to live no more, can't give it to them. Can't give it to them. It'd be the same as killing them myself. If you hadn't told them that, they wouldn't want to die. So the full this scenario is the one that's flying. No one can disprove it. No one can. This is the truth now. It may be the limited truth, but it's still the truth. Omission? Nah, I'm not sure if it's lying or what, and I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to think about it this way. If I do it, stick to the plan, everybody lives, everybody prospers, we might end up in utopia. If I deviate and do something like that, millions and millions and millions going to die for sure. For sure. For sure. No, billions are going to die. For sure. I already made the choice. You want to do different, you do different. But first, you're going to have to find out what it is. You're going to have to know what I know, because you don't. So, we're back over here again, and we're talking about religion, and we're over here now. There's things up they're not mentioning. When you go to church, they don't say nothing about UFOs and aliens. They don't say, they try to explain everything else. Tsunamis, yeah, that's God punishing people, and you know. They don't say UFOs, the devil sent them, or UFO, them God's angels. Let me explain to you how simple it is to get passed off as an angel in biblical times, as you call them. You can come down in a parachute, and you had wings, and you an angel from heaven. You can jump out of a plane with a parachute, and you'll be declared an angel from heaven. So when you hear someone descended from the sky, and a little flapping version of wings back there, what does that remind you of when you see someone parachute? Check the descriptions and compare them. You're going to come to conclusion, angels are astronauts, and on and on and on, and you know, a time traveler could have did this. And these things right there, that the miracles weren't miracles, you know. They could have been illusions, you know. Like turning the staff into a snake. But it ain't no illusion when your snake gobbles up their illusion. That's me. The snake that gobbles up their illusion, their imaginary one. Real magic versus that little fake weak magic. It's not even magic. It's the real deal. So, people are going around playing Jedi mind tricks with you and different things like this here. You know what the purpose of stifling your mind was? Because it slows down productivity. They could have used you for more if you could think, but it was too much bigger risk to take. Because first of all, you didn't speak. We communicated in that you call singing and song. That's our language. And on top of that, I didn't need a gun. You know how you see the opera singers shatter the glass? I'll shatter your whole regiment with my voice. Make your heart and guts bust. Make a building fall down. Levitate a 100 by 100 foot rock up in the air and set it where I want to set it at with vibrations from my mouth. You know, Doom, the little weapon they came up with, you know, the little voice weapon. Adi! What does it sound like they saying? That's some Muslim perjurized stuff mixed with some other stuff and some other stuff, and all of a sudden, Doom. These movies, I gotta remind you, aren't movies. They're made by guilty conscience that can't quit thinking about a truth. It wants to say something, it can't. When you get rich and powerful, no one can stop you from doing what you want to do. So now you're a movie producer, you make a film. And you go too close to the truth, but no one can stop you. 'Cause you're more powerful than them. Things went crazy. So let's go on down the line of my evolution of religion or whatever. Now, I don't want no religion at all. Don't believe in religion. There's always going to be a way of life, okay? The way it's supposed to be. But religion is man made. You won't find one that isn't. It's a social tool to make the peasants behave while we throw orgies in the mansion and every perversion imaginable. We want to do horrible things to them for doing the same exact things. It's a smoke screen. To act like we're in favor of that. That is our favorite thing to do. You know, like have sex with babies and little children because we do it and it's taboo. We go harder on anybody caught doing that. They're exposing us all. It's making it hard for us all, whatever. And I cannot show that this is my favorite thing to do. I have to act like I'm so against that. I'll kill a mother. Overkill is a giveaway. Always remember that. Extremists. You feel me? The one that helps you look for your stolen goods the hardest is the one who stole it from you. Know that sound like some new information that you all. Hey, check it out. Let me see if it's true. Okay. So, all that suffering crap, man. Made particles of it reach that you care about. Now, so men have created these things to make the people behave on lower levels as a social tool. You keep your mind on God and what is good while I do whatever I want. Something like over here with the law system. Those who make the law break the law. The law is for you to obey while I run the stop sign. Okay? You better stop while I pump my brakes and just keep going. Basically that. What you call double standard. It's always present. So, I knew the truth had to cover everything since I was a child. That's why nothing actually stick. They kept telling me only God know that or no one knows. That wasn't good enough for me. It was too, and then they were right here, but I knew they were wrong over here from the last place I was. So I couldn't just, I was like, oh wow, I'm looking for that has all the answers. And I did. I found it because I kept looking. Now, I'm going to take this moment to tell you about a traumatizing period in all this. During my absence, when I was wandering, studying, researching, doing what I was doing, conquering Las Vegas and Palm Springs and all these other places, they ambushed my teacher. Hold up. A car just came by here and it was blowing out gas and spooting and stuff, and I've seen this car many times and it wasn't doing that. Now, and then I started feeling lightheaded. Now my nostrils itching, and this is the second attempt. The first time I ran off. If anything happens to me, I'm going to tell you who was driving this car. Go to my Facebook and find my richest friend. Anyway, it will be marked. It'll be a message there. See, all everything I'm doing and I'm dealing with, you'll see the communications. It's like when someone comes up missing, who are the last people to see them? It's that type of thing. Because I really don't feel right now. It could just been the pollution, but just in case. Because even the back of my throat don't feel right. But I got powers beyond powers. I can heal myself. As soon as I see what is happening, I can make it not happen. One day I'm going to teach you. But the best thing about it is, if a guy came out the park in the dark and he shot at me with a gun, I move so good, and his heartbeat and his lungs going out makes his body jitter. He can't shoot straight without resting his arm on something. That's why serious weapons have stands they come with. All right, they have mounts. But anyway, I can kill him before he can kill me, and nobody shooting a gun ever seen anybody running at them. It scares the shit out of a person. But let's not get sidetracked. That's personal. That's right now, this moment. Okay? Let's keep it on religions. Have you ever noticed that all satanic movies are the perpetrators and the Church of Satan is housed inside the Catholic Church? Do you know that's why you don't see a building with an upside down cross say the Church of Satan anywhere? You ever wonder where that church is? Every demon movie, every Damien movie shows you where they're at. Why they don't need a church. And why you keep finding these horrible things going down inside that church. See, the real how you know it's fake is it contradictory. It's a religion that says God is a jealous God, which is a weak God in the first place to have an emotion like that. That's not don't sound like God to me already, right there, jealousy. That's a man emotion. God is beyond that. I know he got to be. Or it's not God, it's something else. Okay? Maybe one of the gods, but it ain't what you're thinking about, not the all. Because there are things between you and the all that you can call a God. Because it's that far above you. It can do all those things you picture and only God can do. Because God is way greater than you can picture. But anyway, getting back. Running short for time, man. I'm going to have to wrap this up. It's about the evolution. I'm giving tidbits and saying different little things that have to do with other religions. You know, Church of Satan and all this. Oh, yeah, let me tell you. You know, like when you're a Christian, you're given a phobia about the devil. And I was given one as a child. See, it's like they stupid. They have an enemy, and they don't want to know nothing about their enemy at all. They're scared of the devil. That means I don't want to see nothing devil, think about nothing devil, teach nothing devil. You don't know what you're up against then. You don't know what you're fighting or how to defeat it because you don't know a damn thing about it. Case in point. Ran across this necronomicon, what they call the Devil's Bible. People with that orientation wouldn't even touch it with their hand. So they don't even know who they're fighting. You want to talk about the devil behind stuff, the Church of Satan is doing this, but you don't know nothing about the Church of Satan or the devil, so they just got you. They got you so stupid, they really got you because you didn't study them. Who don't study their enemy is stupid. You're going to be defeated. Listen, so I read this book. Man, they got the edge on y'all. In the book is diagrammed the gates of other dimensions and how to open them and all these other stuff. In your Bible, I don't see none of that crap. I don't see none of this in this other book. It's like that book is realer than your book because that stuff is real and works. Your book is a bunch of fantasy crap. There is no such thing as a unicorn. That's one of the things my teacher taught me to shut you down. Whoever wrote that book believes in unicorns. Unicorns are mentioned 9 times in that book like they're real creatures. Anyway, there is no such thing as a unicorn. That must be evil doing that. I've never been neuralized so many times in a row. But I can always rewind this tape later and check each point they were trying to keep me from telling you, and I'm gonna make a whole note on that point. Since we're going there, let me show you how you've been got by not knowing about the things you fear, running from them, instead of mastering how to throw them with a judo throw. Okay? You don't even want to touch them. How you going to defend yourself against them or throw them or block them or nothing? You don't know what weapons they're using. Let me show you how big a fool you are and duped. Let's take the religion that's against its religion. All right? See, Catholics say God is a jealous God. He shouldn't have any gods before me, and you shall not fall down and worship any idols. Then they sit there and talk to pieces of plaster and statues and worship a plaster statue of Mary. That's against everything they said. And it's supposed to be still be a Christian religion. I managed to reach back and grab that one, but lost another one. The reason that I was able to grab that one when I was searching. So let's make the point that's being trying to be stopped from being made. You say you're not going to worship any false gods, right? That's part of your religion. What if I show you how you do that very thing every day? All the time, you're sitting out shouting out the name of false gods. You're shouting out the name of false gods, and you say it's against what you're doing. That's like someone's running around hollering out Iblis, Satan, Lucifer all day long. That's what you're doing. Is that permitted in your religion to run? Can you sit up in the church screaming Lucifer, Lucifer, Lucifer in your church without someone throwing you up out of there? I thought that was the nature of your church. Well, let me show you how you're doing this. Every day of the week is named after a god. Look it up. Some of these gods you know, some of them you don't. But each one of them named after gods. You know, the dad gods. You know, Monadad. All right? Son of Dad. All right? Twigs is Tuesday. Wooden is Wednesday. You can go look these guys up. Like Wooden was the god that was supposed to resurrect the fallen soldiers from the dead and all that. And you know Thor. You know Thursday. That was Thor's day. You don't know Frigg though. But you do know Saturn. What's not stopped there? Oh, I didn't know that. I'm gonna quit saying the days of the week. That's not gonna help you. You don't know how many things you say out your mouth. There's blasphemy and all the things against what you say you believe. All the months of the year. Same thing, named after gods. You can go and check everywhere where every one of those words come from. And you will find out they're named after gods. Some of these gods wasn't some made up fictional stuff. These were men who claimed themselves as God, and their subjects claimed them as God too, like Caesar. July is named after Julius Caesar. August is named after Augustus Caesar. Let me give you a piece of information that you may not have. There is no such thing as a leap year. It throws everything off. That means all the calendars are wrong because of a magical appearing and disappearing days. Look, ask someone why February only has 28 days. You've been living all your life and you just let someone tell you February only has 28 days, an odd month, but no one will tell you why. 12 years of education and no one tell you why February has 28 days. Well, I'm going to tell you right now. Augustus Caesar stole the days from February and put them on his month so that it would be as long as Julius Caesar's month. So he's in competition with the memory of Caesar. So this God stole days from a month and put them on his month. That's why February has 28 days. How come they didn't teach you that if school is teaching you the truth? Why ain't any of these things I've taught you in school? They're true. They're scientifically true. Because you're being taught lies. Somewhere along the line, people conspired against some other people to suppress and control them and use and manipulate them. All right? What they did fail to realize is somewhere along the line they were double crossed and hit in the head themselves and brainwashed. And now the brainwash is we're running games on them when they're running a game on you too. Why didn't you know all these things if you're the people behind it? Because someone above you chose for you to be dummied down and stuck on stupid too, and to think that, and they made someone even more dummied down than you for you to think that you had some information that they wasn't privy to. Oh, they don't know what we know. They're sleepwalking. Everyone in this illusion is running around saying that about the other guy. And I haven't met one of you that wasn't crazy or sleepwalking or brain or hypnotized or a robot. Not one. I started out as one. I'm never going to make myself, I ain't going to say everybody's crazy but me. No, I'm going to tell you I'm 40 years deep in a quest for sanity. When you going to get started? We over an hour and a half here. This is almost the longest note. This is up there with samples of my Optimine. And couldn't even bring it home. I'm not the expert on religion. You need to go and research Dr. York's work. Okay, for real. It won't get no deeper. It won't get no more exact. And yeah, you can try to say it's biased toward black people, but if you look, see, that's my problem right now. I got Nuwabian brothers passing by me with a white wife or a girlfriend on the side, And I read lips saying things like, Wapians don't have no problem with nobody. He's making them think we don't like white people. Look, dude, I know things about them you don't know. And you're making yourself look stupid. You are vampire food, and you don't see it happening to you. I'm sticking this cross note in because of something that happened last night. And because they keep doing it. Let me try to tell you this. As she become blacker, you gonna become whiter. You're gonna start walking white, talking white, acting white, and they're gonna respect you, and you're gonna get better jobs and everything. And then, on top of that, she gonna start walking, talking, acting black. They're gonna accept her, put her up in it, do the thing the way she did it. They're gonna say, hey, she's cool. And then pretty soon they're gonna start telling you you ain't cool. You need to get the stick out your butt. You're like, huh? Where did this happen? And you thought you were upwardly mobile. I hate to be the one to bring you the bad news, dude. I didn't make it this way. I'm not trying to be mean or racist. I'm just telling you the way it is. You can't act like you're white because your white friend is cool. That there ain't people out there that look like him want to kill you. That's called dropping your guard. That's stupid. Your one white friend is going to get you killed. Because there's people out there got it in. Where you been? Man, there's people shooting you down in broad daylight and got a badge and a license. And no one's stopping them or saying nothing. But you don't have, but you love everybody, huh? You're stupid if you do. Love your enemies. That's why I got out that Christian religion. Turning the other cheek, I got 2 broken jaws on both sides that still haven't been fixed. I'm not doing that. Feel me? It's contradicting crap. You know, I don't want some 3 first name idiot to come shoot me in my head because he still think that stuff is real. But it contradicts itself. It tells you forgive people and let stuff go, turn the other cheek, and then it turns around and tells you an eye for an eye. Huh? How you, are you gonna forgive him? Or are you gonna take revenge? Which one are you supposed to do? You can find that over and 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 over. So, I could catch him. Here's the nature of this thing. It is designed to be real, real, reality. A smokescreen. See, things were a certain way. It's written, buried, and been uncovered because no one intended for you to learn, but they didn't know it was buried. And now you done found it. Here's this problem. Take the people that call themselves black. Answer this question for me. You were kings and queens. Now you what you are. Explain to me how those people over there got from sitting on thrones and kingdoms to running around out in the jungle butt naked with some spears cutting on themselves. Where's the history that says that devolution? Because they devolved. How did that go down? How did you lose the whole world? Was it a crap game? Were you playing cards? Did you gamble away Arabia? Did you spin the wheel and lose Asia? How did these things get out of your hands into the hands they in when the person who has possession of it claimed they got no beef with you? How did they become in possession of your land, your ways, your clothes, your language, your customs, your you eating utensils? And you don't have them, don't even remember them, but they got it down packed. How come you're not asking anyone to explain that to you? Where you get my car? Last thing I remember, I was driving my car, and I woke up laying on the side of the road. Next thing I know, I see you driving my car. What happened? When you explain that to me, I will trust you again. Until then, everything you say is a lie. Until you explain that fact to me, I can't trust nothing you say. And this is at the heart of race relations. Putting it all on the table and getting it out the way, because I'd be damned if we do this another 100 years. So, remember, you won't find Bible or religion in the Bible. That should be clue one. And William Shakespeare, Will, or Bill, name being on the book might be another clue, by Bill. It's not just a cute little joke. It's phonics that matter, not so-called spelling. You will find it out when you do some studying about your enemy or adversary, or what does a prey call a lion? Predator. You better know when you have a predator, you got to know the predator to build a defense. Because if you build a rabbit defense for a bear, it's not going to hold. You're just dead. So, there is no end to this conversation, except for the fact that I'm going to just simply tell you, many people have lost their mind and they're walking around what you call religious nuts right now, because they put a strain on their brain that it couldn't take, like an old pressure cooker or hot water heater or anything, an old car, and they blew a fuse. You cannot wrap your brain around God or even the concept. You cannot see God with your eyes. It will strain your eyes. You will go blind. You can't look directly at the sun. What made you think you could look at God? Why would you even hope or wish or dream something like that? You're suicidal. Closest I could figure what would happen to you is you will bust into the billions of particles you are, just coming anywhere within a light year of such a force will destabilize your very makeup. So people are going crazy because someone keeps telling them about this thing, and they keep trying their best to wrap their mind around it, and it won't reach. And like a rubber band, it pops. And they all get nutty, start making up things between the lines, start faking the funk because no one can prove it. Start faking like a good person, knowing damn well they're just as bad as they are good. But they're not perceived as bad because the bad is done behind closed doors. The good is promoted out in the public. They appear to be good, and people say, hey, that's a good person. You know what these superficial robots call a good person? Anyone who gives them something. They're for sale. You give them something. Oh, he's cool. You don't give them something, you ain't shit. You mean. But you give someone giving you a gift don't make them cool. What are you saying? They all right? Is that you need to define cool? Saying they're a good guy, or what are you saying because they give you something they're cool? Look, don't be giving nobody a pass on that no more because it has nothing to do with what kind of person they are. An evil person can give you something that don't make them good, they will still be evil. You're the one with the mental problem who think because someone give you something, that's how you're picking your people. How's that worked out for you? Tell me, how's that worked out for you, that measurement system? Done a lot of stuff for me. They're a good person. You for sale. What about the person who ain't gave you nothing, but they been there for you? They're not good person? What about those who don't got nothing to give you? Ain't none of them good, huh? None of them cool. Check your thinking. You will find that it's been tampered with. Not saying that there is not an all creator. I'm saying your little primitive, low intelligence, but it's too. Your mind can't even handle it. So you need to work on something you can handle. You're not ready for that. You're not even ready for the levels that lead you to that because there's a lot between you and the all. Let me give you an example so that you can have something to apply. I hate giving people stuff. They claim my teacher just sprouts out a bunch of rhetoric that can't be applied in this world because he talks about extraterrestrials and all kinds of stuff. And they try to make it sound like it's nothing. Let me give you something that can be applied. Here's how we're going to do it to make sure quality insurance because of the vampire. We're going to stop the note and put it over slightly into the next note. I'll explain this in the next note.